Yeah, Hari Om. I think we can start. Everybody's ready, right?
Yeah.
So welcome everybody to this second session of our Gita Jayanti, Gita Parayan, online Gita Parayan, help organized by Gita Jayanti Singapore. And in 18 sessions, we plan to complete the entire Gita, taking about 40 verses per session. And every session, we also have talk by on appropriate to that particular portions which are being chanted by some reputed authorities on the Gita. And today we have Dr. Ananda Ji as our invited speaker for today. And guest of honor for today is Mr. Rajan Krishnan, our respected chairman of Hindu Advisory Board. Welcome to both Rajan Ji as well as to Ananda Ji. And all our chanters are here. So now, without much ado, I think we can get started. Let me just share the screen. You can see the screen, right? Okay, now I will unmute everybody so that I will mute everybody so that there will be no disturbance. Okay, so now we can start with our initial invocations. Over to Padmani Ji.
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam dhyaye sarva vignopashantaye Saraswati namastubhyam varade kamarupini vidyarambham karishyami siddhirbhavatu me sada sarva mangala mangalye shive sarvartha sadhike Sharanye Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Vasudeva Sutan Devam Kamsachanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum.
Thank you, Padmani Ji. And before I invite Rajan Ji, let me also say that today is a very auspicious day. And today is the Chitra Paurnami day, and also celebrated as Hanumat Jayanti by several communities. So very auspicious day. And also it's just after the Puttanda, the Hindu New Year, as well as Vishu was just over yesterday. And so for a wide variety of Indian diaspora and Indian communities, it's a very, very auspicious times are these few days. So now I welcome Rajan Ji to give his welcome address.
Thank you, Krishna Kumar. Namaskar. Good morning to everyone. And it's my pleasure to be online with all of you to provide a short address. It has been 25 years since a very dedicated group started this Gita Jayanti celebrations with the aim of spreading the divine message of the Gita. It started very modestly, and the effort has been sustained over the years by groups of very dedicated volunteers, supported by many Hindu organizations in Singapore and the HEB. Going back 25 years, the initial organizers would be very surprised as to how it has been sustained for a quarter of a century and grown now to reach not only all Hindu organizations in Singapore, but to many people around the world. So we have somebody has started the first step, and we are now continuing with many steps going forward. This event has now become an important feature in our Hindu calendar. Last year at a similar event, I stated that I hope we will be able to come together as a group to listen, recite, and feel the vibrations of the chanting. Well, this year it is not to be, as the COVID restrictions are only slowly being relaxed. I am glad to note the organizers are not daunted by this and have continued their effort to hold the event on an online platform, and thus even attracting a larger audience spread over a larger geographical area. Perhaps going forward, this hybrid situation would be the norm, so as to reach as many people as possible. I thank the organizers for their perseverance and the effort to put this event together. I know it's easy for us to log in, click in the passcode and get online. But I'm sure behind the scene, the organizers and those who are reciting have put in hours of effort putting this program together, the technical challenges, preparation of slides, timing, and getting everybody to make sure they're clocking on before 11. I can very well understand the pressure there are. But for us, it's easy. We with a calmer mind, we join in and we're able to participate in this wonderful event. So let's start this Parayanam session as we continue our journey as seekers of the truth, as well as to guide us in our daily lives in the path of Dharma. Hari Om. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rajan, for this beautiful words. And like he said, we started in a very humble way, and now we have reached quite good proportions. We're trying to enhance this under now with new leadership with Srinivasanji and our HEB and all. So it has taken on a totally different line as from the way it started. So I'm sure the people, initial people are no more there. So that's, I'm sure that they'll be happy in wherever they are, the way things has turned out. Okay, now let's get back to our this thing, and today and now we will have, initially the program for today is that we'll have Gita Dhyanam, and this will be followed by invocations on the Gita, followed by the actual chanting, and Gita Dhyanam will be chanted by Sindhuji.
Om Pathaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitaamrutavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashaadhyayini Ambatvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshini Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullarvindayata Patranetra Yena Tvaya Bharata Tailapurnaha Prajvalito Jnanamayah Pradipaha Prapanna Parijataya Totravetraikapanaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gitamrutaduhe Namaha Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopalanandana पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलम् गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथासम्भो दनाबोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिन श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः.
Thank you so much, Sindhuji, for the beautiful rendition of the Gita Dhyanam. Now we get on to the actual chanting of the Gita Parayan for the session for the portions for today. We will cover slokas 41 to 47 of chapter 1 and followed by another 33 verses from chapter 2. And please note also that for every verse in the slide, the meanings of those verses are also given. And the end of the session, we will have a talk by Dr. Anandaji, and who's a highly erudite speaker on the Bhagavad Gita, resident Acharya of Chinmaya Mission Singapore. And after that, we will have a short mini Gita quiz session also. That's for some kind of slightly deeper looking at Gita and partly fun also. So that is the idea here. So please don't miss all these things, and we will get started with the actual session.
अधर्माभिभवात् कृष्ण
Lataji, you have to unmute. I think Lataji got dropped off. Oh, I think she's unable to. Lataji, can you hear it? Can you unmute and speak?
Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks. Yeah, sorry.
okay.
Okay.
Tharma
Can-
Bhiva. Once again, you can start again.
Yeah. Start again.
अधर्माभिभवात् कृष्ण
अधर्माभिभवात् कृष्ण
प्रदुष्यन्ति कुलस्त्रियः
प्रदुष्यन्ति कुलस्त्रियः
स्त्रीषु दुष्टासु वार्ष्णेय
स्त्रीषु दुष्टासु वार्ष्णेय
जायते वर्णसङ्करः
जायते वर्णसङ्करः
अधर्माभिभवात् कृष्ण प्रदुष्यन्ति कुलस्त्रियः स्त्रीषु दुष्टासु वार्ष्णेय जायते वर्णसङ्करः
अधर्माभिभवात् कृष्ण प्रदुष्यन्ति कुलस्त्रियः स्त्रीषु दुष्टासु वार्ष्णेय जायते वर्णसङ्करः
शङ्करो नरकायैव
संकरो नरकायैव
कुलघ्नानां कुलस्य च
कुलघ्नानां कुलस्य च
पतन्ति पितरो ह्येषाम्
पतन्ति पितरो ह्येषां
लुप्तपिण्डोदकक्रियाः
लुप्तपिण्डोदकक्रियाः
शङ्करो नरकायैव कुलघ्नानां कुलस्य च पतन्ति पितरो ह्येषाम् लुप्तपिण्डोदकक्रियाः
संकरो नरकायैव कुलघ्नानां कुलस्य च पतन्ति पितरो ह्येषां लुप्तपिण्डोदकक्रियाः
दोषैरेतैः कुलघ्नानां
दोषैरेतैः कुलघ्नानां
वर्णसङ्करकारकैः
वर्णसङ्करकारकैः
उत्साद्यन्ते जातिधर्माः
उत्साद्यन्ते जातिधर्माः
कुलधर्माश्च शाश्वताः
कुलधर्माश्च शाश्वताः
दोषैरेतैः कुलघ्नानां वर्णसङ्करकारकैः उत्साद्यन्ते जातिधर्माः कुलधर्माश्च शाश्वताः
दोषैरेतैः कुलघ्नानां वर्णसङ्करकारकैः उत्साद्यन्ते जातिधर्माः कुलधर्माश्च शाश्वताः
उत्सन्नकुलधर्माणाम्
उत्सन्नकुलधर्माणां
मनुष्याणां जनार्दन
मनुष्याणां जनार्दन
नरके नियतं वासः
नरके नियतं वासः
भवतीत्यनुशुश्रुम
भवतीत्यनुशुश्रुम
उत्सन्नकुलधर्माणां मनुष्याणां जनार्दन नरके नियतं वासः भवतीत्यनुशुश्रुम
उत्सन्नकुलधर्माणां मनुष्याणां जनार्दन नरके नियतं वासः भवतीत्यनुशुश्रुम अहो बत महत् पापम्
अहो बत महत् पापम्
कर्तुं व्यवसिता वयम्
यद्राज्यसुखलोभेन
हन्तुं स्वजनमुद्यताः अहो बत महत् पापम् कर्तुं व्यवसिता वयम् यद्राज्यसुखलोभेन हन्तुं स्वजनमुद्यताः
अहो बत महत् पापम् कर्तुं व्यवसिता वयम् यद्राज्यसुखलोभेन हन्तुं स्वजनमुद्यताः
यदि मामप्रतीकारम् अशस्त्रं शस्त्रपाणयः
अशस्त्रं शस्त्रपाणयः
धार्तराष्ट्रारणे हन्युः
धार्तराष्ट्रारणे हन्युः
तन्मे क्षेमतरं भवेत्
तन्मे क्षेमतरं भवेत्
यदि मामप्रतीकारम् अशस्त्रं शस्त्रपाणयः धार्तराष्ट्रारणे हन्युः तन्मे क्षेमतरं भवेत्
यदि मामप्रतीकारम् अशस्त्रं शस्त्रपाणयः धार्तराष्ट्रारणे हन्युः तन्मे क्षेमतरं भवेत्
सञ्जय उवाच
सञ्जय उवाच
एवमुक्त्वार्जुनः सङ्ख्ये
एवमुक्त्वार्जुनः सङ्ख्ये
रथोपस्थ उपाविशत्
रथोपस्थ उपाविशत्
विसृज्य सशरं चापम्
विसृज्य सशरं चापम्
शोकसंविघ्नमानसः
शोकसंविघ्नमानसः
सञ्जय उवाच एवमुक्त्वार्जुनः सङ्ख्ये रथोपस्थ उपाविशत् विसृज्य सशरं चापम् शोकसंविघ्नमानसः
सञ्जय उवाच एवमुक्त्वार्जुनः सङ्ख्ये रथोपस्थ उपाविशत् विसृज्य सशरं चापम् शोकसंविघ्नमानसः
ॐ तत्सत् इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे अर्जुनविषादयोगो नाम प्रथमोऽध्यायः। अथ द्वितीयोऽध्यायः सांख्ययोगः। सञ्जय उवाच
सञ्जय अथ द्वितीयोऽध्यायः सांख्ययोगः। सञ्जय उवाच
तन्तथा कृपयाविष्टम्
तन्तथा कृपयाविष्टम्
अश्रुपूर्णाकुलेक्षणम्
अश्रुपूर्णाकुलेक्षणम्
विषीदन्तमिदं वाक्यम्
विषीदन्तमिदं वाक्यम्
उवाच मधुसूदनः।
उवाच मधुसूदनः
सञ्जय उवाच तन्तथा कृपयाविष्टम् अश्रुपूर्णाकुलेक्षणम् विषीदन्तमिदं वाक्यम् उवाच मधुसूदनः।
सञ्जय उवाच तन्तथा कृपयाविष्टम् अश्रुपूर्णाकुलेक्षणम् विषीदन्तमिदं वाक्यम् उवाच मधुसूदनः। श्रीभगवानुवाच कुतस्त्वाकश्मलमिदम् विषमे समुपस्थितम् अनार्यजुष्टमस्वर्ग्यम् अकीर्तिकरमर्जुन श्रीभगवानुवाच कुतस्त्वाकश्मलमिदं विषमे समुपस्थितम् अनार्यजुष्टमस्वर्ग्यम् अकीर्तिकरमर्जुन
भगवानुवाच कुतस्त्वाकश्मलमिदं विषमे समुपस्थितम् अनार्यजुष्टमस्वर्ग्यम् अकीर्तिकरमर्जुन
क्लैब्यं मास्मकमः पार्थ नैतत्त्वय्युपपद्यते क्षुद्रौ हृदय दौर्बल्यम् त्यक्त्वोत्तिष्ठ परन्तप क्लैब्यं मास्मकमः पार्थ नैतत्त्वय्युपपद्यते क्षुद्रौ हृदय दौर्बल्यम् त्यक्त्वोत्तिष्ठ परन्तप अर्जुन उवाच कथं भीष्ममहौ संख्ये द्रोणं च मधुसूदन इषुभिः प्रतियोत्स्यामि पूजार्हा परिसूदन अर्जुन उवाच कथं भीष्ममहौ संख्ये द्रोणं च मधुसूदन इषुभिः प्रतियोत्स्यामि पूजार्हा परिसूदन
अर्जुन उवाच कथं भीष्ममहौ संख्ये द्रोणं च मधुसूदन इषुभिः प्रतियोत्स्यामि पूजार्हा परिसूदन
गुरून् हत्वा हि महानुभावान् श्रेयो भोक्तुं भैक्ष्यमपीह लोके हत्वार्थकामांस्तु गुरूनिहैव भुञ्जीय भोगान् रुधिरप्रदिग्धान् गुरून् हत्वा हि महानुभावान् श्रेयो भोक्तुं भैक्ष्यमपीह लोके हत्वार्थकामांस्तु गुरूनिहैव भुञ्जीय भोगान् रुधिरप्रदिग्धान्
महानुभावान् श्रेयो भोक्तुं भैक्ष्यमपीह लोके हत्वार्थकामांस्तु गुरूनिहैव भुञ्जीय भोगान् रुधिरप्रदिग्धान्
न चैतद्विद्मः कतरन्नो गरीयः यद्वा जयेम यदि वानो जयेयुः यानेव हत्वा न जिजीविषामः तेव स्थिताः प्रमुखे धार्तराष्ट्राः
चैतद्विद्मः कतरन्नो गरीयः यद्वा जयति मार्गो जयेयुः तेव स्थिताः प्रमुखे धार्तराष्ट्राः
न चैतद्विद्मः कतरन्नो गरीयः यद्वा जयेम यदि वा नो जयेयुः यानेव हत्वा न जिजीविषामः तेव स्थिताः प्रमुखे धार्तराष्ट्राः कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वान् धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यच्छ्रेयस्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहंसाधिमान् त्वां प्रपन्नम्
पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यच्छ्रेयस्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहंसाधिमान् त्वां प्रपन्नम्
कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वान् धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यच्छ्रेयस्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहंसाधिमान् त्वां प्रपन्नम् न हि प्रपश्यामि ममापनुद्याद् यच्छोगमुच्छोषणमिन्द्रियाणाम् अवाप्य भूमावसपत्नमृद्धम् राज्यं सुराणामपि चाधिपत्यम्
न हि प्रपश्यामि ममापनुद्यात् यच्छोगमुच्छोषणमिन्द्रियाणाम् अवाप्य भूमावसपत्नमृद्धम् राजौ सुराणामपि चाधिपत्यम्
न हि प्रपश्यामि ममापनुद्याद् यच्छोगमुच्छोषणमिन्द्रियाणाम् अवाप्य भूमावसपत्नमृद्धम् राज्यं सुराणामपि चाधिपत्यम् संजय उवाच एवमुक्त्वा हृषीकेशम् गुडाकेशः परन्तप न योत्स्य इति गोविन्दम्
उक्त्वा
तूष्णीं बभूवः
संजय उवाच एवमुक्त्वा हृषीकेशम् गुडाकेशः परन्तप नयोस्य इति गोविन्दम् उक्त्वा तूष्णीं बभूवः
सञ्जय उवाच एवमुक्त्वा हृषीकेशं गुडाकेशः परन्तप न योत्स्य इति गोविन्दम् उक्त्वा तूष्णीं बभूवः तमुवाच हृषीकेशः
तमुवाच हृषीकेशः
प्रहसन्निव भारत
प्रहसन्निव भारत
सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये
सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये
विषीदन्तमिदं वचः
विषीदन्तमितं वचः
तमुवाच हृषीकेशः प्रहसन्निव भारत सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये विषीदन्तमितं वचः
तमुवाच हृषीकेशः प्रहसन्निव भारत सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये विषीदन्तमितं वचः
श्रीभगवानुवाच
श्रीभगवानुवाच
अशोच्यानन्वशोचस्त्वम्
अशोच्यानन्वशोचस्त्वम्
प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे
प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे
गतासूनगतासूंश्च
गतासूनगतासूंश्च
नानुशोचन्ति पण्डिताः
नानुशोचन्ति पण्डिताः
श्रीभगवानुवाच अशोच्यानन्वशोचस्त्वं प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे गतासूनगतासूंश्च नानुशोचन्ति पण्डिताः
श्रीभगवानुवाच अशोच्यानन्वशोचस्त्वं प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे गतासूनगतासूंश्च नानुशोचन्ति पण्डिताः
न त्वेवाहं जातु नासम्
न त्वेवाहं जातु नासम्
न त्वन्नेमे जनाधिपाः
न त्वन्नेमे जनाधिपाः
न चैव न भविष्यामः
न चैव न भविष्यामः
सर्वे वयमतः परम्
सर्वे वयमतः परम्
न त्वेवाहं जातु नासम् न त्वन्नेमे जनाधिपाः न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे वयमतः परम्
न त्वेवाहं जातु नासम् न त्वन्नेमे जनाधिपाः न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे वयमतः परम्
देहिनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे
देहिनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे
कौमारं यौवनं जरा
कौमारं यौवनं जरा
तथा देहान्तरप्राप्तिः
तथा देहान्तरप्राप्तिः
धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति
धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति
देहिनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारं यौवनञ्जरा तथा देहान्तरप्राप्तिः धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति
देहिनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारे यौवनञ्जरा तथा देहान्तरप्राप्तिः धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय
मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय
शीतोष्णसुखदुःखदाः
शीतोष्णसुखदुःखदाः
आगमापायिनो नित्याः
आगमापायिनो नित्याः
तान् तितिक्षस्व भारत
सांस्थितिक्षस्व भारत
मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्णसुखदुःखदाः आगमापायिनो नित्याः तांस्तितिक्षस्व भारत
मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्णसुखदुःखदाः आगमापायिनो नित्याः सांस्थितिक्षस्व भारत
यौ हि न व्यथयन्त्येते
यौ हि न व्यथयन्त्येते
पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभ
पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभ
समदुःखसुखं धीरम्
समदुःखसुखं धीरम्
सोमृतत्वाय कल्पते
सोमृतत्वाय कल्पते
यौ हि न व्यथयन्त्येते पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभ समदुःखसुखं धीरम् सोमृतत्वाय कल्पते
यौ हि न व्यथयन्त्येते पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभ समदुःखसुखं धीरम् सोमृतत्वाय कल्पते
नासतो विद्यते भावः
नासतो विद्यते भावः
नाभावो विद्यते सतः
नाभावो विद्यते सतः
उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः
उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः
त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः
त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः
नासतो विद्यते भावः नाभावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः
नासतो विद्यते भावः नाभावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः
अविनाशि तु तद्विद्धि
अविनाशि तु तद्विद्धि
येन सर्वमिदं ततम्
येन सर्वमिदं ततम्
विनाशमव्ययस्यास्य
विनाशमव्ययस्यास्य
न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति
न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति
अविनाशि तु तद्विद्धि येन सर्वमिदं ततम् विनाशमव्ययस्यास्य न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति
अविनाशि तु तद्विद्धि येन सर्वमिदं ततं विनाशमव्ययस्यास्य न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति अन्तवन्त इमे देहाः
अन्तवन्त इमे देहाः
नित्यस्योक्ता शरीरिणः
नित्यस्योक्ताः शरीरिणः
अनाशिनो प्रमेयस्य
अनाशिनो प्रमेयस्य
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
अन्तवन्त इमे देहाः नित्यस्योक्ता शरीरिणः अनाशिनो प्रमेयस्य तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
अन्तवन्त इमे देहाः नित्यस्योक्ताः शरीरिणः अनाशिनो प्रमेयस्य तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
य एनं वेत्ति हन्तारम्
य एनं वेत्ति हन्तारम्
यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम्
यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम्
उभौ तौ न विजानीतः
उभौ तौ न विजानीतः
नायं हन्ति न हन्यते
नायं हन्ति न हन्यते
य एनं वेत्ति हन्तारम् यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम् उभौ तौ न विजानीतः नायं हन्ति न हन्यते
य एनं वेत्ति हन्तारम् यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम् उभौ तौ न विजानीतः नायं हन्ति न हन्यते
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित्
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित्
नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः
नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः
अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणः
अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणः
न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे
न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणः न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे
न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणः न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे
वेदा विनाशिनं नित्यं
वेदा विनाशिनं नित्यम्
य एनमजमव्ययम्
य एनमजमव्ययम्
कथं स पुरुषः पार्थ
कथं स पुरुषः पार्थ
कङ्घातयति हन्तिकम्
कङ्घातयति हन्तिकम्
वेदा विनाशिनं नित्यं य एनमजमव्ययम् कथं स पुरुषः पार्थ कङ्घातयति हन्तिकम्
वेदा विनाशिनं नित्यं य एनमजमव्ययम् कथं स पुरुषः पार्थ कङ्घातयति हन्तिकम् वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय
वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय
नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि
नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि
तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि
तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि
अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि
अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि
वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि
वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि
नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि
नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि
नैनं दहति पावकः
नैनं दहति पावकः
न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापः
न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापः
न शोषयति मारुतः
न शोषयति मारुतः
नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावकः न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापः न शोषयति मारुतः
नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावकः न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापः न शोषयति मारुतः
अच्छेद्योऽयमदाह्योऽयम्
अच्छेद्योऽयमदाह्योऽयम्
अक्लेद्यो शोष्य एव च
अक्लेद्यो शोष्य एव च
नित्यः सर्वगतस्थाणुः
नित्यः सर्वगतस्थाणुः
अचलोऽयं सनातनः
अचलोऽयं सनातनः
अच्छेद्योऽयमदाह्योऽयम् अक्लेद्यो शोष्य एव च नित्यः सर्वगतस्थाणुः अचलोऽयं सनातनः
अच्छेद्योऽयमदाह्योऽयम् अक्लेद्यो शोष्य एव च नित्यः सर्वगतस्थाणुः अचलोऽयं सनातनः
अव्यक्तोऽयमचिन्त्योऽयम्
अव्यक्तोऽयमचिन्त्योऽयम्
अविकार्योऽयमुच्यते
अविकार्योऽयमुच्यते
तस्मादेवं विदित्वैनम्
तस्मादेवं विदित्वैनम्
नानुशोचितुमर्हसि
नानुशोचितुमर्हसि
अव्यक्तोऽयमचिन्त्योऽयम् अविकार्योऽयमुच्यते तस्मादेवं विदित्वैनम् नानुशोचितुमर्हसि
अव्यक्तोऽयमचिन्त्योऽयम् अविकार्योऽयमुच्यते तस्मादेवं विदित्वैनम् नानुशोचितुमर्हसि अथ चैनं नित्यजातम्
अथ चैनं नित्यजातं
नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतम्
नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतं
तथापि त्वं महाबाहो
तथापि त्वं महाबाहो
नैवं शोचितुमर्हसि
नैवं शोचितुमर्हसि
अथ चैनं नित्यजातं नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतं तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैवं शोचितुमर्हसि
अथ चैनं नित्यजातं नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतं तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैवं शोचितुमर्हसि
जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्युः
जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्युः
ध्रुवं जन्म मृतस्य च
ध्रुवं जन्म मृतस्य च तस्मादपरिहार्येऽर्थे
न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि
न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि
जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्युः ध्रुवं जन्म मृतस्य च तस्मादपरिहार्येऽर्थे न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि
जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्युः ध्रुवं जन्म मृतस्य च तस्मादपरिहार्येऽर्थे न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि
अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि
अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि
व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत
व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत
अव्यक्तनिधनान्येव
अव्यक्तनिधनान्येव
तत्र का परिदेवना
तत्र का परिदेवना
अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत अव्यक्तनिधनान्येव तत्र का परिदेवना
अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत अव्यक्तनिधनान्येव तत्र का परिदेवना
आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम्
आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम्
आश्चर्यवद् वदति तथैव चान्यः
आश्चर्यवत् वदति तथैव चान्यः
आश्चर्यवच्चैनमन्यः शृणोति
आश्चर्यवच्चैनमन्यः शृणोति
श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्
श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्
आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम् आश्चर्यवद् वदति तथैव चान्यः आश्चर्यवच्चैनमन्यः शृणोति श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्
आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम् आश्चर्यवद् वदति तथैव चान्यः आश्चर्यवच्चैनमन्यः शृणोति श्रुत्वाप्येनं वेद न चैव कश्चित् देहि नित्यमवध्योऽयम्
देहि नित्यमवध्योऽयम्
देहे सर्वस्य भारत
देहे सर्वस्य भारत
तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि
तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि
न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि
न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि
देहि नित्यमवध्योऽयम् देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि
देहि नित्यमवध्योऽयम् देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि
स्वधर्ममपि चावेक्ष्य
स्वधर्ममपि चावेक्ष्य
न विकम्पितुमर्हसि
न विकम्पितुमर्हसि
धर्म्याधियुद्धात् श्रेयोऽन्यत्
धर्म्याधियुद्धात् श्रेयोऽन्यत्
क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते
क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते
स्वधर्ममपि चावेक्ष्य न विकम्पितुमर्हसि धर्म्याधियुद्धात् श्रेयोऽन्यत् क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते
स्वधर्ममपि चावेक्ष्य न विकम्पितुमर्हसि धर्म्याद्धियुद्धात् श्रेयोऽन्यत् क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते
यदृच्छया चोपपन्नम्
स्वर्गद्वारमपावृतम्
सुखिनः क्षत्रियाः पार्थ लभन्ते युद्धमीदृशम् यदृच्छया चोपपन्नम् स्वर्गद्वारमपावृतम् सुखिनः क्षत्रियाः पार्थ लभन्ते युद्धमीदृशम्
यदृच्छया चोपपन्नम् स्वर्गद्वारमपावृतम् सुखिनः क्षत्रियाः पार्थ लभन्ते युद्धमीदृशम्
अथ चेत्त्वमिमं धर्म्यं संग्रामं न करिष्यसि ततः स्वधर्मं कीर्तिं च हित्वा पापमवाप्स्यसि अथ चेत्त्वमिमं धर्म्यं संग्रामं न करिष्यसि ततः स्वधर्मं कीर्तिं च हित्वा पापमवाप्स्यसि
अथ चेत्त्वमिमं धर्म्यं संग्रामं न करिष्यसि ततः स्वधर्मं कीर्तिं च हित्वा पापमवाप्स्यसि.
Thank you so much for the wonderful chanting by all the our chanters, and especially the young family, a whole family of chanters, 3 young children and their mother, and also a mother-daughter pair. So the very youngest child is just 5 years old. So this is just to prove that chanting Bhagavad Gita is not for the elderly. It should be started at the very young age itself. So and thank you so much for the wonderful inspirational Anika and Anish and Arjun and their mother Lakshmi, and also Umaji as well as Sahanaji. So families are also taking part here. So we request everybody to participate as a whole family itself, so that Bhagavad Gita becomes a whole culture rather than just chanting some empty verses. And now the verses in the meanings of the verses given in the earlier slides are actually from the great masters of Bhagavad Gita, like Swami Chidananda, Swami Dayanandaji, Swami Gambhirananda, George Feuerstein, Vireshwaranandaji, then Eknatheshwaran, Dr. Radhakrishnan, and all that. And now we move over to Gita Mahatmya. Gita Mahatmya. This will be by Vinodriji.
Atha Gita Mahatmyam Gita Shastramidam Punyam Yaf Pathet Prayatah Puman Vishnoh Padamavapnoti Bhayashokadivarjitah Gita Dhyayana Shilasya Pranayama Parasya Cha Naiva Santihi Papani Purvajanma Kritani Cha Mala Nirmochanam Pumsam Jalasnanam Dine Dine Sakrut Gitam Bhasi Snanam Samsara Malanashanam Gita Sugita Kartavya Kimanyai Shastra Vistaraihi Yasvayam Padmanabhasya Mukha Padmadvinisrita Bharatamrita Sarvasvam Vishnurvaktradvinisritam Gita Gangodakam Pitva Punarjanmana Vidyate Sarvopanishado Gavaha Dogdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsas Sudhir Bhokta दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्रगीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा.
Hari Om. Thank you, Vinodji, for that beautiful Gita Mahatmyam chanting. Now we come to the talk for this session. And we have great and immense pleasure in inviting Dr. A.L. Anandaji to this talk. And he is the resident Acharya of Chinmaya Seva Center, who has also undergone a full 2-year course at Chinmaya Mission. He's been a long-term associate of Gita Jayanti from, I think, very, very long time, at least for, I think, maybe 15-20 years, I think. We have immense pleasure in inviting Dr. Anandaji. So over to Dr. Anandaji.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om to all of you. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Shri Saraswati Namaha, Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Buddhir Balam Yashodairyam Nirbhayatvam Arogatam Ajadyam Vakpatutvam Cha Hanumasmaranad Bhavet. May the Lord Hanuman Ji, who was listening to Bhagavad Gita, sitting in the flag on the chariot, may he grant intelligence, strength, fame, courage, health, a long life, and eloquency in speech to all of us. Happy Hanuman Jayanti to all of you. Hari Om. Before I start, I would like to express my sincere thanks to Gita Jayanti Committee for giving me once again this opportunity to talk about Bhagavad Gita. Thank you. Chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga, gives a bird's eye view of the entire essence of teaching of Bhagavad Gita. In chapter 1, there was no teaching by Lord Krishna. We see the transformation of Arjuna, the soldier, to Arjuna, the disciple. Krishna, the driver, charioteer, to Lord Krishna, the Gita Acharya. There are only 2 points you can take from if you want to summarize the first chapter. Arjuna, an intelligent, intellectual, great achiever, and very focused man of action, was ready to fight a righteous war. But now the same Arjuna was suffering from shoka, sorrow, because his emotions overcame his intellectual convictions that had to fight the righteous war. So yes, now he sees Bhisma in front of him. Oh, how can I kill my great grandfather? How can I kill my teacher, Dronacharya? And also confusions in his mind to fight or not. What is my duty as a Kshatriya? And fear. What is the end result of this war? How can I defeat all these great warriors? Because he had conflicting demands from different assumed roles. One hand, he was great-grandson. Other hand, he was disciple. Then he was a Kshatriya. Then he was a prince. So all these have different demands, and all of them, same thing with us. Different roles we play in life and different demands, and our mind is confused. Let us analyze a bit. Symbolically, Arjuna represents our personality, our individuality. All of us are suffering from the same shoka, moha, bhaya disease. All problems of Arjuna, shoka was in the mind, sorrow is in the mind, and the moha, delusion, is in the mind, bhaya in the mind. Everything is related to mind and intellect at that level. Mind and intellect problem became my problem. If somebody else's problem has become my problem, because mind and intellect are external to me, I am not that. Okay, that became my problem. So all the time we are referencing to this I. What is this I? Who is this I? We are never questioned. I plus the attributes of the body, mind, intellect, ahankara, becomes me, the biggest problem. This lack of correct understanding of the meaning of I at the intellectual level is the sole cause of Arjuna's problem and also ours. Lord Krishna, in the entire Bhagavad Gita, wants to change this notion of I, of ours, by making us to understand the implied meaning of I, our real nature, which we don't know. Then our intellect becomes our guru. Lord Krishna gave the highest knowledge of the implied meaning of I in the very second chapter. By 25th verse, he completed everything. But then it took 18 chapters for him, all until the 18th chapter, Nashto Moha Smriti Labdha. Until then, this intellect became the guru. The mind becomes the disciple. In all of us, we may listen a lot of times. Unless our intellect start teaching the guru, teaching the mind, we will not change. Will not change. So then only when it teaches happens, when we teaching sets in, our chariot, this body, moves in the right path towards the goal. All Lord did was, in the whole Bhagavad Gita, he changed Arjuna's manasthiti, state of the mind. He did not change external things at all, change the state of the mind. He guided Arjuna to the right vision, knowledge and attitude. Now let us understand what is this right vision. This is the theme of the entire second chapter. The second chapter, as I said, called Sankhya Yoga. That is, Sankhya means counting, Sankhya, counting. That is counting, similar to the counting one after the other. This takes through a logical step by step to arrive at the truth. To understand and appreciate the solution given by the Lord Krishna, we have to have faith in the Lord and in the Bhagavad Gita. Shraddhavan labate jnana. Bhagavad Gita is a shastra. Itigu yatamam shastram. Last word of the philosophy ended in the 15th chapter. The last verse of the 15th chapter. Itigu yatamam shastram. It is a shastra. Shastra meaning it is like a Sangeeta Shastra, Natya Shastra, Rasayana Shastra, Bauta, any Shastra. Shastra means it's a discipline where you not study one. Sangeeta Shastra means I'm only Tala. I won't become Sangeetagara. We have to know every aspect of it. Similarly, Shastra means we have to know every aspect of it. In Bhagavad Gita, every chapter at the end, we say Yoga Shastra. Why? It is a Shastra. It's a complete discipline. It includes every aspect of what Vedanta Shastra is. Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta Shastra are not different. They're the same thing. It covers certain things. 5 aspects are Vedanta Shastra. I'm very briefly touch upon. Who is the fit student? Whom to approach for the knowledge. That means what is the nature of the Guru. And then what is the teaching? Mahavakya. Tattvamasi is the theme also of the Bhagavad Gita. And then what are the sadhanas? What are the practices? And what are the results? All these 5 should be included. It is included in everything is in Bhagavad Gita. That's why it's a Shastra. How does Bhagavad Gita solves Arjuna's problem? Bhagavad Gita and mainly Vedanta introduces me to myself because I don't know. I am simply using I don't know myself. Showing all our imperfections. It shows the state of our mind, how much clean it is, and what kind of dirt is sitting in our mind. It's a mirror. It is there to point out all our imperfections. Also provides the means to improve. How to clean this? Also the mind. Also it is there. What is there to introduce me? I know who am I. We think of ourselves, we know we are limited, body, finite. I've got a birth date, I'm going to have a death date, and I know limited, finite, I don't know everything, I know I have limited knowledge. And sometimes I'm happy, most of the time sorrow. This is what? To seek objects etc. That is, our main goal is to fulfill this. I'm seeking the objects. Yoga Kshema, Ananyas Chintayantoma, Yoga Kshema, Yoga acquiring what I don't have. After acquiring, I want to save it. I want to see that how to don't lose it. Fear of losing is there, bhaya is there. So this is the confused goals I have in life. My mind is tossed up and down in this. Bhagavad Gita is saying, you are infinite, you are fearless, you are eternal happiness. Happiness is your nature. Why are you going and eking out happiness from outside? Okay, I trust Bhagavad Gita and I want to attain this. This should become our goal. Why Arjuna did not know this? Huh? What is his real nature? He had Karpanya dosha. 7th verse. Karpanya dosho bhatasvabhava. Karpanya means krupanata. Krupanata means conjuice, miserliness. He was miser. We are all, not only Arjuna, we are all. Why? What is miserliness? Miser means I have it, yet I don't want to spend it, use it. What is that you have? I have Viveka Shakti, discrimination. I am not ready to use that discrimination. Arjuna's case also was this. Most of our case also is. Because discrimination is the function of intellect. But my mind takes over and covers this intellect. So I can't use my intellect properly. Because of that, I don't know how to discriminate between finite, infinite, seer and seen, conditional and unconditional happiness. I don't know many things. Arjuna says, my nature has been looted away and I am overpowered by pity. I am confused about my duties. I am not in a position now to think anymore and analyze what is to be done. So he seeks Lord's guidance. Once surrendered, it's a teacher's responsibility. That's why the Shastra means how to approach the Guru and who is the Guru, right person, wise person. It's a teacher's responsibility to pull the disciple out of the woods. It is like saying, oh Guru, use your intellect and instruct me. My intellect is not functioning. Use your intellect. I am a mere tool. I have given myself surrender to you. Not that half-hearted. You tell me, then I will also use my intellect. No. Whatever you say, I will do it. No questions asked. Please show me the path of Shreyas, he asked. What Arjuna wants really is Nishreyas. Absolute peace he wants. His mind is so disturbed, he wants peace. He thought he will run away to the forest, to the Himalayas to get this peace. So basically, Arjuna got confused between Nivritti Marg and Paravritti Marg. He thought giving up all actions and running away is the best. Pravritti means doing more and more and more actions. That's what is being asked now to fight the war. This is because of due to lack of clarity, he did not know how to distinguish this. Then where is the duty coming? He is a Kshatriya. He is supposed to protect. So it is the theme, Nivritti Marga, Pravritti Marga is the theme throughout the Bhagavad Gita. Until the 18th chapter also he asked the same question in a different format. All are variations. But still he wants clarity on why one should perform actions, why one should not withdraw from actions. What is meant by that? Really not, nobody can stop doing actions. Lord with a smile, Prasanniva Bharata, Lord with a smile, Aryashus Arjuna, who throws his bow and arrow, a Gandiva, down. What is the significance of throwing the Gandiva down? Means symbolic significance is I surrender all my ego and egocentric activities under your feet. That is what is surrender. Unless we surrender properly, Gita will not open for us. Guru will not open for us. It's only after Arjuna surrender like this, Bhagavan started talking to Arjuna and Gita Upadesha started. Bhagavan Adi Shankara has written the commentary only from this verse, 11th verse of the 2nd chapter. Until then, first chapter and the first 10 verses, he didn't write anything of the 2nd chapter. Bhagavan started speaking a very high philosophy of the truth to Arjuna. Top-down approach. He took top-down approach, not bottom-up. Where are you, Arjuna? I'll pull you up. No. This is what is the truth is. You accept it? Oh, take it. Even the 15th chapter, Urdhva Moola Madashakam, there also it is a top-down. Okay. From 11 to 25th verse, he gave the knowledge. Bhagavan gives various viewpoints. And he tells Arjuna, from any standpoint of view, you look at your problem. You cannot justify your sorrow. From any standpoint. You are crying for all those things for which you should not cry. Ashocha nanvashostam prajnavadam shivasasi gatatu nagata sustan anushotanti pandita. And who is actually the wise man? One who never grieves, neither for the living, not for the dead. So teaching of Bhagavad Gita begins with these wonderful words. Don't cry, grieve, ashocha. And also the end of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord's teaching in the 18.66 for the Sarvadharman Paritejya. What is the last word there? Mashuchaha. That means, so don't cry. Beginning also, don't cry, grieve, ashocha nanvashoshastam. And then last of Mashuchaha, don't cry. So the central message of the Bhagavad Gita that Bhagavan Krishna gave to all of us is, come what may, do not grieve. There is nothing to grieve. Because why? My nature is happiness. I am Satchitananda Swarupa. Why am I crying? Pairs of opposites is the nature of the world. Joys and sorrows are unavoidable. Just now we chanted that Matra Spashasta Kaunteya Shitoshna Shukadukkada Agama Payinoni. They come and go. Why are you crying? World War II was there, World War III also, World War IV. You have everything coming and going. Why you are crying about that? It's sad, of course, but this is the nature of the world. You cannot stop it. Joys and sorrows are unavoidable. Okay. Develop forbearance, titiksha, tam titiksha. Maintain mind calm and quiet, and let it not be the locus of your disturbances. And then he said, Vasamsi jirnani. Individual is not this physical body, what you are thinking. It is just like changing the old shirt, throw away, and putting a new shirt. How can you justify your sorrow? Thinking that I am the body, mind, intellect is the biggest misconception. Identification with body, mind, intellect is the biggest. Body is only a temporary address. When I wake up, I use this body. In sleep, I keep body aside. Are we aware of the body in the sleep? Are we aware of the mind in the sleep? Are we aware of the intellect in the sleep? Are we aware of our ahankara, individuality in the sleep? Nothing. Are we aware of the God for that matter? Are we aware of the world for that matter? Nothing. Then why as soon as I get up, I get attached to everything of this? Ignorance. Coming and going is not me. Then what is death? What is birth? Disidentification of this ahankara with this body is the birth. Disidentification of the ahankara with this body is the death. Identification of the ahankara with this body is the death, is the birth. So birth and death are identification, disidentification of the ahankara with the body. That's all. Then who am I then? Who is the self actually? Bhagavan says, you are that immortal self or awareness. It has no birth, no death. Na jayate mruyate va kadachit. That is, nayam bhutva bhavita vana bhuya ajo nitya shashvato yam purana nahanyate hanyamane sharire. So it does not die. Why are you crying? You are that. You are that. It is the nature of the body. What is born must die. He said in the next 27th verse, he said, that is the dhruva. Jataste hi dhruvo mrityu. Overborn should die. Like a tablet. On whatever the tablets manufacture, there is an expiry date. Manufacture date, expiry. Similarly, we also have manufacture date and expiry date. We don't see it. That's our tablet or the bottle. We see it. That's the only difference. This pot space, pot can be destroyed. I can break this pot, but pot space, can I destroy? Never, ever. Pot space I can never destroy. Okay. So, and this is the. So similarly, the truth is immortal. So from the standpoint of truth, the self is indestructible. From the point of this room, walls can be destroyed, but not the space. Walls can be destroyed, but not the space. Then why do you cry? Self is indestructible. Why do you cry? Upadhis, what you are crying is about the upadhis, conditionings. Body, mind, ahankara, just like these conditionings, you are crying. As we said, it's come and goes. Whereas the self or Atma ever exists, never becomes non-existence. Where did he say that? In the 16th verse, very famous verse, Nasato vidyate bhavaha, nabhavo vidyate sataha, ubayorapi drushtontaha, tvaneyo tattvadashibihi. Okay, you become the tattvadashihi. Why you are becoming like this, attached to this body? Gain that self-knowledge. That alone is the truth. You are the truth. You are the truth. You are Sat. You are Chit. You are happiness. Why are you worried about that? Life principle is eternal and one. Expressions are many. Names and forms are many. Space is only one. Many rooms, many houses, many halls, many assembly buildings. They're all are conditioned. Space is only one. Similarly, electricity is only one. Equipments are many. Ocean is only one. Waves, foam, different kinds of bubbles, and different kinds of waves are all many. Everything what we observe is perishable. World, body, mind, everything. The observer is eternal. Therefore, Bhagavan repeats, you should not cry. When? 26th verse, last quarter. Naivam shochitum arhasi. And similarly, he doesn't stop there. Next verse also, 27th, again 4th quarter. He repeats again, Natvam shochitum arhasi. Why are you crying? Non-apprehension of the reality leads to misapprehension, as Puja Gurudev Swami Chingananji keeps repeating. Not a non-apprehension leads not knowing this truth. All are projections, giving importance to all these upadhis, conditionings for which we should not. It's all utility value, no doubt. It is a utility value, no doubt. But don't give reality to it. So then ask yourself, who is killing whom? Where is the possibility? Ubhoto na vijanati, nayam hantina hanyate. 19th verse. Who is killing whom? Nobody is killing anybody. Then I am saying, so don't say that I had to kill Bhisma, Drona and all. You are not killing anybody. Arjuna, did Arjuna get all these things? His mind was not there. So what is this Atma? Essential thing in each one of us, without which we are not human beings. That divinity, that life spark, that I call Atma, truth, God, whatever you call, that is I am. That Atma, Arjuna, you are. Ahayam anupadaye, that's the definition of Atma. Ahayam, one definition. I am anupadaye. Nothing to give up, nothing to take. There is nothing except it is there. That's all. Okay. Lord did a surgery on Arjuna's mind, eye correction program they had. Get out of your kupanata, conjuseness. Use your viveka. You are that immutable, changeless self, Arjuna. But as I said, did Arjuna get it? Definitely no. Because his mind was already very disturbed. Lord now comes a few notches down. From Dharma point of view, this is a great opportunity for Kshatriyas. Varna ashrama, you are belong to the Kshatriya Kula, Kshatriya Dharma. So you had to protect your kingdom, people. So you had to fight this war. And it's a great bless to get such a war. So you should not grieve. From the ashrama point, that is Varna. This is from the ashrama point, is you are a grihastha ashrama. You are a grihastha. Mahagrihastha, in fact. Not one, Mahagrihastha is. From that point of view, serve as, because why grihastha ashrama is important? Grihastha ashrama takes care of the brahmacharya also, and also vanaprasthis, elderly people, and sannyasa ashrama. Grihastha ashrama is the key which has to take care of all the other three ashrams. Without grihastha ashrama, we won't have produced great souls in this world. Grihastha ashrama has a key role to play. Okay, so from that point of view, sir, as per your dharma to your wall. This was taught from 31st to 38th verse. From the transaction, from Laukika, worldly standpoint also, you have to find this is adharmic war. What is happening? If you don't fight, people call you a coward. Your reputation is at stake. Better you fight. So Lord says, from a duty point of view, your duty has come to you. So Uttishta Kaunteya. Get up, Arjuna, and Yuddhaya Vijyaswa. Get ready to fight. Lord also gives solution how to gain this knowledge. It's not simply giving speech, gives the solution. That is why it is a yoga shastra. One of the components of the fight is the sadhana, practice. How to achieve this? Mahavakya give the knowledge. How to achieve this? That is why we call it Yoga Shastra, Vedanta Shastra. To understand the implied meaning of fire, to know we are the source of happiness, what we have to do? Get rid of our raga dvesha, the disturbances of our mind. Anger, hatred, likes, dislikes, raga dvesha, that's all those things. That's all impurities or mala in the mind. Mala are impurities of the mind. How? Lord says there is a method to purify your mind. It is karma yoga. First, he advertises karma yoga elaborately so that Arjuna gets attracted to the method, describing the glory of karma yoga from 40th to 46th verse, to draw his to the attention of Arjuna, and then he comes to the principle of karma yoga in the 47th verse. Now let us understand a bit. What causes disturbance in our mind, likes and dislikes? Our actions and the way we react to the results, karma para, are influenced by our mind. When action is performed, results are bound to come. And this result will have an effect on our mind. Expected results come, I get elated, opposite, very sad, depression. So all of them have, or somebody else gets more than me, jealousy. All this come. So it disturbs my mind, which is made up of sattva, rajas, tamas. So results, because of results, we develop likes, dislikes, anger, hatred, etc. All are pair of opposites we develop because of the results. Results related to objects, situations, with people, everything. Challenge is, no one can stop perform actions. We have to keep doing the actions, yet we should get insulated from this results having an effect on my mind. This is the sadhana. This sadhana is called karma yoga. Perform the action, but the results come, let it not disturb your mind. So the purpose of karma yoga is to cut our raga dvesha, that is reduce our rajas and tamas, and increase the sattva, that is purity of the mind, chitta shuddhi. That is, for that, vyavasayatmika buddhi is required. Fertile ground is required. If you have a ground which is fertile, tilled very well, then only if you plant seeds, then the crop will be good. Our mind should be vyavasayatmika buddhi. This intellect should be very fertile. We should cut. How? remove all these weeds. Mala, you remove it. Lord calls it Buddhi Yoga in the 41st verse. Buddhi Yoga. Why he called Buddhi Yoga? Why didn't he call directly Karma Yoga? See, yoga and all those things, Arjuna had already a preconceived notion. It means a ritual. Put the bricks and all, do some farm, havan and all. He wanted to remove that. It is only intellectual in understanding. That's why it's called Buddhi Yoga. How to this make Buddhi the fertile? Buddhi means intellect, fertile, to remove all the weeds, and that means all our negativities, to remove it. This is a prerequisite to understand and absorb this self-knowledge. You can understand if the intellect and the mind, this antakarana is not pure, then this what is understood will not give any results. Simply it will be sitting like any other knowledge, it will be sitting in one corner of my intellect. That's all, nothing more. What is Karma Yoga then? Karma Yoga is art of intelligent living. Do the actions, yet not touched by it. That means how to use my intellect and discrimination power properly. Meaning, what is the meaning of that? Just to a higher level, one should discharge one's duty earnestly and efficiently, not merely serving someone, but serving without ego and egocentric desires. It's an attitudinal change we should have. It is not one specific action. Every action of, in fact, every thinking also should be in the Karma Yoga spirit. So, why we should do it? What is that disturbing our mind? Likes and dislikes, anger and hatred. All these are joys and sorrows. That means pair of opposites. The only way to get out of this pair of opposites, to mastery over the pair of opposites, is to do this Karma Yoga way. Our attitude should change. So, Karmanyevadikarasye ma paleshu kadasana. That famous verse talks about the gist of the Karma Yoga, which was further elaborated in the subsequent chapter. We have a choice in the karma. Only human beings have a choice in action. It's the glory of human life. We have a choice. Karmani eva adhikara. Our right is only to perform our duty. Do it, not do it differently is our choice. But ma karma palaheturbu. Ma means not. Karma palaheturbu. Not in fruit of action. You have duty is only to perform the action, not expecting a particular type of results. No. Let not the fruit of action be the motive. But are we performing that way? That means whatever results come, don't get attached to the results. Means action should be selfless action. Results are governed by the laws of various karmas is there, laws of action is there. Others are also in the picture. Lord is in the picture. Your motive is in the picture. So many things are there. So results come according to that. So goal should be high. Doesn't mean, oh, results come anyway, anything comes, so I should not get disturbed. Let me do in any haphazard way. No. Do it let the goal be very high. Do it in a very perfectly, but don't insist on the result. That means don't have worry, anxiety for the results. So if that is the case, what motivation is there for me to do any action? Sir, then no money. No, do it in Ishwararpana Buddhi, Prasada Buddhi. Ishwararpana Buddhi means while performing the action, do it as the dedication to the Lord. Who is the Lord? I am doing in the outside that those people, company, morning I go just to see the boss face. That is not Ishvara Prabhupada. The whole universe is Ishvara only. Sasra Shisha Pusa, Sasra Sasapad. We say that the whole entire universe is his image only. And Prasada Buddhi. Whatever comes, accepted Prasada. What is Prasada Buddhi mean? You go to the temple, you get Prasad. When you go to the temple, do you say that today I'm going, today is Friday, I'm going to, or Saturday, I am going to get laddu. But suppose the Pandit, the Purohit gives you only the tulsi today. Will you be upset? Laddu didn't come or puliyogara didn't come, only tulsi? No, no. You accept it. You didn't go to the temple just for the prasad sake. You got the prasad. Whatever comes, you take it. It will not have that going to the temple, no expectation. What prasad is given, that will not have any effect on my mind. Same way. Any action you perform, going to the temple is an action. Similarly, any action you perform is a temple of the Lord. Do it. And anything comes, accept it. Accept it. One would gain the art of working with perfect mental equilibrium. That is the result of this. It is not only one condition, in all conditions. In all conditions, because the pairs of opposites, the nature of the world. It won't come in the way. That's what is said in the 38th verse. So it is the attitude what counts. Then you get samatvam yoga uchyate. Then you get a balanced, equanimous mind. So it's very, very easy. You're talking about balanced, equanimity mind. You know samatvam? I do. I get bangings instead of getting even an acknowledgement. Equanimity of the mind, easier said than done. Equanimity results from equanimity means not simply, everybody happy. No. Equanimity means, as I said, attitudinal change using my viveka, discrimination power, all is because whatever the results come is not just what I perform, other factors are involved. So I don't blame anyone for the results. I don't blame anyone. No one gives joys and sorrows. It is my karma pala. And taking responsibility for our actions and results. Most of the time, we blame our immediate cause. Effect is there, first level cause, we blame. No, think there are several levels of cause. So go to a few levels higher and see what is the cause. The solution to Arjuna's problem is not the first level. Lord did not say the first level, I'll fix you. Tomorrow I'll see 4 battalions of Kauravas come to your side, you fight the war. He didn't say all those things. He went several levels higher, fixed at the root level. That is taking responsibility and fixing these problems at the higher level. And then there is a karma pala dhata. Karma pala you want? Let your attention shift from karma pala to karma pala dhata. That is, let you develop devotion, bhakti towards that. Who is the giver of this result? It is totality. Maybe totality is the Lord. You give that Lord. Develop the bhakti. And then abide in this knowledge all the time. This is what is meant by equanimity of the mind. So karma yoga is giving up attachment to karma pala. Not only the karma pala, to the karmas also. You don't have a choice in karma. Okay, I choose it in karma. No. And also doership at the intellectual level. Don't have the doership. All put together is karma yoga. Do every action, even that we don't like, also is perfection. Even the actions we don't like. Then with perfection, that dexterity, that is called yoga karmasu kaushalam. Dexterity in action should be there in every action, whether we like it or not. What do we gain by performing all actions in karma yoga spirit? As I said, all our laga dosha means our vasanas. Our vasanas, V is there. Our vasanas will reduce, get exhausted. Our mind gets purified, becomes more sattva, ready to absorb self-knowledge. Otherwise, we are persecuted and punished and whipped, as Gurudev says, persecuted, punished and whipped. Every day, morning you perform the actions in the daytime. By the time you put your head to the pillow, persecution starts. By your own intellect. Own intellect. We shouldn't have done it. Guilt feelings. All this will go. Our efficiency in the transactional world will increase. Okay. How do we know we have reached this quietude? How do I know I need the? It's an adrishtapala. It is not directly is going to come. Like every day, every month I work, salary will come. No, it's an adrishtapala. You cannot see it. Calm, quiet mind. How? Reduced confusions. No more anxiety. Evaluate, not after one day, after a few years, evaluate. No chit-chatting or murmuring of the mind. Alert, yet indifferent to pair of opposites. I am alert to the pair of opposites, but indifferent to it. Whether it Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha, honor, dishonor, doesn't matter. Now Arjuna woke up a little bit more from the intellectual slumber. It was moha, his mind had taken over so much. Because Lord is talking about his familiar territory of action, karma yoga action. Now wants to know, before making a decision, whether to seek the knowledge or perform the action. He wanted to know a little bit more. Arjuna thought that a man established in the self like this kind of a knowledge may not live vigorous, dynamic life. So he wants to know more about the man of perfection, man of realization, Sthita Prajna, or Gunatita of the 14th chapter, or Jivan Mukta as in the 15th chapter, Jivan Mukta. One who has brought his mind under control and firmly established in the self. Is there any person like that? Arjuna. Lord is standing in front of him. He is asking this question. This is the stupidity. We have seen so many people, we don't follow any of them. By renouncing karma pala, can anyone really live? Did Lord Krishna receive any karma, any results he expected from Pandavas and all the people? Nothing. From 54 to end of the chapter, he is very famous man of perfection, Sthita Prajna. Lord says, such a man of wisdom could remain in this world amongst us and still not get disturbed. He's in the Brahma Nirvana. He's in that state all the time, abiding there. Sannyasa is not at the physical level. Not wearing it. Gurudev says, longer the beard, greater the suspicion. Longer the beard, greater the suspicion. Or Rudraksha malas, nothing. Sannyasa is at the mind level. That's why Grihasthas also can be sannyasi. Vanaprasthis can be sannyasi. A sannyasi can be a greater big Grihastha also can be there, involving all sorts of actions. So it is at the mind level. Look at Swami Vivekananda ji. Look at Puja Gurudev, Swami Chinmayananda ji. Were they not dynamic? Yes, they were. He is free from Raga Dvesha. That was taught in the 64th. I am very quick now. That is free from both attraction and repulsion and ever peaceful. Prasada Adigachati. Prasada Buddhi. They were taking everything as Prasada Buddhi. People say anything or not, Prasada Buddhi they were taking. It does not mean he does not have any desires. He has no binding desires. He acts out of fulfillment, not for fulfillment. Okay, so such people have mastery, always alert and vigilant, and he knows if not, the ladder of fall is very steep. That was discussed in 62-63. Arjuna, who was so well prepared, just by entertaining one thought of pity in his mind on seeing Bhisma and Drona, led to his anxiety state neurosis and a big ladder of fall, and it took so many verses, 700 verses for Krishna to lift him up. Okay, Lord gives at the end gives two beautiful metaphors to describe the state of a Sthita Prajna. The man of perfection remains fulfilled without objects, just like the ocean. Ocean does not rise. Ganga is flowing, pouring out water, like Ganga Sagar, pouring out water all the time. But water doesn't rise. Like that, whatever disturbances, Sthita Prajna remains calm, quiet. And in the 69th verse, it was said, he was open to the 60 What's that? Yanisha Sarvabhutan. Yeah, that's what. Yanisha Sarvabhutanam Tasyam Rajasi Samyam. Although he is woken up to the highest knowledge to which ordinary people are sleeping. And he is sleeping to which ordinary people are woken up. That is all this transaction world. Okay. We are also in that state every day once at least. That is in the deep sleep. We are Sthita Prajna in the deep sleep, but with the ignorance still intact. Okay. But we are happy in the deep sleep. That's why we get in the morning charge again. So, with the right understanding of Bhagavad Gita, on all the scriptures, one can make this eye correction from what I am, literal meaning of the I, to the implied meaning of I. From information to transformation. But if we continue to do what we are doing, we continue to get what we are getting. We continue to do what we are doing, and we continue to get what we are getting. There won't be Bhagavad Gita or spirituality will have no effect on us. As I said, it will be sitting at one corner unless you churn it. Sadhana is required. Else, mind is not changed. Why my mind, why I have not, spirituality has not sunk in? You are not put in the effort. So, similar to Arjuna, at the end of the second chapter, his mind is still confused, perhaps more confused, because Lord's top-down approach, he started with the highest knowledge. His line of questioning continues. He asks, you are glorifying jnana, or sthita prajna. At the same time, you are asking me to follow to take up the weapons and fight the war. Pravritti or nivritti. Sthita prajna is nivritti. He is withdrawn from the actions. And going to war is pravritti, doing action. You are asking me, you are but glorifying him. So what is I have to do? Please tell me. Arjuna had questions until, as I said, in the 18th chapter, sannyasa is required. So this is basically the questioning of Arjuna. Okay. So this knowledge, what it shows is this knowledge is not easy to assimilate. It requires 3 C's: consistency, commitment, and continuity. These 3, consistency, commitment, and continuity, these 3 C's are required. Let us pray to the Lord and to Hanumanji, who was listening silently to the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Let these 3 C's be part of our life for our successful spiritual quest. Thank you. Hari.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anandaji, for your wonderful speech, talk on covering the whole of the chapter 2, one of the most important chapters of Bhagavad Gita, where actually Arjuna, from his state of absolute despair and depression, through a proper attitude and proper knowledge, and based on attitude based on absolute proper knowledge, how you can become a Sthita Prajna. That is a whole journey. So Dr. Anandaji has covered the whole journey, covering almost the entire all the aspects of Hinduism, our spiritual traditions. So he has covered in such a beautiful manner. Hopefully we can get at least some time to ask him some questions at the end of the because we are already running quite short of time. Okay, now we proceed to the so Dr. Anandaji, you will be there for the rest of the part, right? Till the end of the, you will be available till the end of the session, right?
Yes.
Some people can ask some questions.
Yes.
Okay, now we'll get back to the continue our balance of the part, and so that we can quickly finish. And now actually we have initiated a new series called as a Gita Quiz. And from last first session, I had one set of questions. But I think there has been this session we are having second part, and this will be handed over. This will be taken care by hosted by Vinodini ji. So over to Vinodini ji. You have to unmute.
Namaste to everybody. So thank you, KKG, for giving me this opportunity to host the Gita Quiz section. So firstly, a couple of things. This first one is there are two types of questions. First part should be answered in a single word or a couple or a maximum like a few words, maybe like less than 5 or something. It will be like a single word questions only. And second part will be answered in less than 20 words. Needs to be answered in less than 20 words. And for this, for the last session, we now have a Google form in which you have to like fill in the answers, and there is also a new Google form for this today's session as well. So last session we have already done it in the last session. I have already hosted the last session's questions, so you can go to the Gita Jayanti Facebook page or the YouTube channel to see the questions and to give the answers in the Google form that we have given. And for the Google forms, the links to the forms will be available in the Gita Jayanti Facebook page itself. And once I host, I will also copy paste the link in the chat box if I think that will be a bit easier. So yeah, so fastest fingers first. So the first 10 people. I'm not sure how many people. For the earliest correct answers will be, the names will be shared in the next session. So can I go to the questions now for this today's session. So the first question is from Dhyana Shloka. What is the role of Krishna as per the imagery of the war with Bhisma and Dronas as the banks that the Pandavas have to cross? So in this, like, I'll just give a clue. So it's Bhisma Drona, that's how the shloka starts. Okay. Second one, I think it's pretty, these are the first set of questions, just to remind you that these needs to be answered in either one or a couple or very few words. Second shloka, Mahabharata is picturized as a lotus with the fragrance of the meaning of Gita, etc. In what water is this lotus born? So where it is described as lotus, I will just quote that. You can go back and see which slokam it is. So Pankajam Bhuyat Bharata Pankajam Kalimala Pradvam Shinashreyase. Okay, so you can go back and find out which sloka I'm quoting from. So the third question is, in the very initial resort by Lord Krishna to the despondency of Arjuna, Krishna asks Arjuna not to fall to or resort to Klaibyam. What is Klaibyam? So this is from Shloka, chapter 2, Shloka 3. Klaibyam mas magam of Partha Naitat Vayupapadyate. We have another question related to the same shloka further. I will chant the full shloka then. So the fourth one, from which verse does Adi Shankaracharya's Bhashyam starts? And before this verse, Adi Shankaracharya doesn't cover his commentary. So from which verse this starts? This is a very straightforward question. No clue for this. So the fifth one is, if one reads this shloka, Klaibyam mas magam of Partha Naitat Vayupapadyate Kshudram Hridaya Daurbalyam Tyaktottishtha Parantapa, one gets all the merits of reading the entire Gita. For in this one shloka lies embedded the whole message of the Gita. Who has said this? So this is the shloka that we are also referring to in question number 3. In the initial resort by Lord Krishna to the despondency of Arjuna, Krishna asks Arjuna not to fall to Klaibyam. What is Klaibyam? So this is the first part of the questions, which needs to be answered in a couple words or a few words. So this one is going to the second part of the quiz. This needs to be answered in 20 words or lesser. Okay. First one, in the Gita, all statements of Lord Krishna are indicated with Shri Bhagavan Vacha. So typically it will be Arjuna Vacha and then Sanjaya Vacha, Shri Bhagavan Vacha. So what are the characteristics of Bhagavan in this context again? The next one is Najayate Mriyate Va Kadachit. Najayate Mriyate Va Kadachit Nayam Bhutva Bhavita Vana Bhuyaha Ajo Nitya Shashvatoyam Puranaha Nahanyate Hanyamane Sharire. So this shloka has a very similar verse in Upanishad from 2nd chapter, 20th verse. So you have to identify the Upanishad mantra. I don't want to give the name of the Upanishad here, but it has a similar verse, as in even some of the words are also repeated in that verse of the Upanishad. So that's the clue for this. Third one, Avyaktadini Bhutani. So that's the second chapter, 28th verse. Vyaktamadhyani Bharata. So what is the, here Bhagavan talks about Avyakta and Vyakta. So what is the idea behind Avyakta and Vyakta that is told by Bhagavan here? So fourth question, and I guess that's the last one. So adharma is an important argument by Krishna. So typically when Arjuna, when he starts his teaching, he gives different perspectives as to why he should fight in the war in the second chapter. So one of that perspective is Swadharma. So what is the Swadharma of Kshatriya? He also quotes what is the Swadharma of Kshatriya. So in many places he uses the word Swadharma also, but it's a set of verses. So we need to go back and check what is Swadharma of a Kshatriya according to the Lord. So that ends the Gita quiz for this session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vinodji. And we want to stress that the questions are only based on today's the verses chanted today, and also the Dhyana Sloka. That is all. So people who are going to answer these questions you need to only look at the meanings of the word verses which are, they are chanted today. That's all. So basically, our questions for those each session will be from the specifically from the verses that are being chanted. So there is we are only chanting about 40 verses, so we should be easy for people to get the answers from this. Okay, now over to the final segment. That is the closing mantras. Over to Padmini.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaramurtaye Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Mahavishnave Swaha. Om Achyutaya Namaha. Om Anantaya Namaha. Om Govindaya Namaha. Om Achyutaya Namaha. Om Anantaya Namaha. Om Govindaya Namaha. Om Achyutaya Namaha. Om Anantaya Namaha. Om Govindaya Namaha. Vasudeva Sutan Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Ayena vacha manasendriyairva buddhyatmana va prakrite swabhavat karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai narayanayeti samarpayami. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tatsat. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. 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 Om.
Thank you so much, Padmini. So we come to the end of today's formal part of today's session. So next session will be on 30th, 2 weeks from today. There is next Saturday, 30th April 2022, same time. So see you all there that time. So now we will stop the sharing and enable people to ask questions to our speaker for today, Dr. Anandaji. Before that, I will also enable people to unmute yourself. Let me just do that. Yeah, now you can actually unmute yourself. And I'll also request everybody to kindly enable your videos so that we can take a quick, some photographs. And after that, we can start with the questions, at least for maybe 10, maybe we can only spend about 10 minutes on the questions. So I request everybody to enable your videos, please. So much, and so now over to the floor is open to the all the listeners, so you can ask questions to Dr. Ananda. Only question.
Yeah, I think I would like to add a word, not a question, a note of appreciation to Dr. Anandaji, because it's not easy to talk about chapter 2 in such a short duration. Each segment of the section 2 deserves hours and hours of lecture, but Anandaji has brought out the crisp analysis of that in a very, a comprehensible manner to all of us. Thanks. And you did a wonderful job today, I should say. And one thing you mentioned very often, that it should be not just read it, we should not just get it, we should practice it.
Yes.
And that would have put the organizers, us, on a lighter note, I would say, in a dilemma, because there will be 2,500 speakers over 25 years and 25 listeners. So we have still a long way to go. But I think the message is very clear.
Yes.
You have brought it out very beautifully, that practice it, nothing but practice.
Yes.
And it may be a bit and small pieces, but start somewhere and keep going. Because the journey, like the child, never worries about during the train journey about the destination. It keeps enjoying all the scenes that they see and enjoy the journey. So the same way, let's keep enjoying the spiritual journey, although we know what the ultimate destination is. So let's keep practicing it. Like that's a message we take it from your lecture today. Thank you, Dr. Anandaji. Thank you
very much.
And Lakshmi, I have two questions.
Yeah.
You said 3 C's, right? One is consistency, one is commitment, and one more?
Continuity.
Oh, continuity. And then I saw there behind in your house there, you put Om and V and then BMI. What is it?
The chart. It's a Gurudev's chart.
Can you tell that, please?
Oh, no, that requires a long time, but Om is the Satyam. This is the truth. V is the Vasanas, because of which we have got the body, mind, and intellect. PFT is perceiver, feeler, thinker. This is our ego, Ahankara. And OET, objects, emotions, and thoughts. This is the last row, is the world. World of objects, we perceive through our sense organs, and in the body, we perceive it. Emotions, interacting with the people, we get the feelings at the mind level. Similarly, at the thoughts, various thoughts generated in the world, and become a thinker, it is at the intellect level. So, just to give you today only one point I give you, when we die, when we say attachment to the body, when we die, the body remains in this world, is a final of made up of 5 elements. But vasanas, mind, intellect, and the ahankara, the world remains. World will not move even if I die. Body will not move. Only this part, it gets out and goes to another body. That is called soul, or the Sukshma Sharira. It goes on from one to another like a tenant until I realize I am this, nothing else. That's all. It's a famous chart by the Puja Gurudev. I use in every class. This is there behind me because this is my seat for classes.
Oh,
I would also like to add that I've heard so many
P is
Chalangas
what?
by Swami Chimanandaji, and every one of his lectures, he used to have this chart with him.
Of course.
Swami Chimanandaji's every lecture,
Yes.
he used to have this chart with him, and he used to always explain Bhagavad Gita as well as Upanishads and everything on the basis of this chart. It's a very important chart, actually.
Yeah.
The P, F,
sorry, Lakshmi.
the F is feeling, the P is what?
Body, mind,
P,
intellect.
P.
Pure thinker.
Oh, pure thinker.
No,
Okay,
no,
thank
it's only just a representative. We are a perceiver, feeler, thinker, doer, knower, observer, enjoyer, every eater, seer, everything. All the actions we are performing through our senses, mind, senses in the body, mind and intellect. These are the instruments we have. These are the instruments. This is our ahankar, which is saying, I am the doing, I am doing, I am enjoying, and all. That is this. This is the world.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else has any questions?
Any other?
Dr. Anandji, I have a question.
Yes.
As you are saying, Sthita Prajna, in order to become like everyone can try to attain that. But the thing is, if you are a Grahastha, Brahmacharya, Sannyasi, or Vanaprastha, I feel maybe Grahasthas have too many commitments, too many activities. Maybe it may be difficult to attain that compared to sannyasis or vanaprasthas or any other. No, just I'm thinking whether it is.
Yes. What's your question? So it's difficult. That's your observation.
Is it difficult or not?
No, it is not. It is not. Sannyasa or grihastha is the two paths we have taken. That's all. One has more roles to play. Definitely, grihastha ashram has more roles to play. Whereas sannyasa, path of sannyas, is less roles to play. Sannyasa doesn't mean he realized. Grihastha does mean he has not realized. Sannyasa path means he has realized. Grihastha means he is not realized. Both of us are work in progress. Both paths are work in progress. Okay? But because he has less roles to play, a sannyasi, he may have more time to spend on this. But he has got his other duties, ashram duties, to teach or to manage something or there. We have more, but doesn't mean that we cannot go. We know, if you know karma yoga, other things, we, in spite of doing all those things, still we can get rooted in the higher knowledge. Okay? It is not the question. I will tell you, Yajnavalkya, Janaka Maharaj, were they not Grihasthas? They were great sannyasis. Yajnavalkya, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Right? So where are we? They're all. Oh, Yajnavalkya has two wives also. It is not that. So it is not, that's the same typical grihastha. Okay? And then Janaka Maharaja, great king also, but still great Ashtavakra, his guru, was great jnani. So there is no reason for us to be say that we cannot. We can, but it's difficult. I agree, because we have roles to play. But that's why Vanaprastha in Grihastha Ashrama, a time will come when you have to say enough is enough. And then I'll move on to this. I'll focus more onto this. Not after 65 retirement, I'll pick up Bhagavad Gita. Vanaprastha, we had one thing, sir. My experience, I'll tell you. From the beginning, we should add a little bit every day, little bit in our spirituality. Little bit only. We have got a lot of commitments. I agree with that. But when a time comes when you have nothing to do, we have to nurture this much more. Big tree it will become. Then we will be able to reap the fruit. Until then, we have to nurture it in a little way. Okay? But it will not come up 65, I will start spirituality. It will not happen. It has to be either we enter at 25 or 20. But if you say, I want to enter in 65, it will not happen. Okay? If you don't enter it exiting at 65, you will not see spirituality anymore. We will be more into the same world. And that's why I said, if you keep doing what we are doing, we are going to get what we are getting. Somewhere we have to We have to inquire and seek this change in us. The change should come within. Not that Shravanam is not difficult. Shravanam in 1 year or one text or a few texts you study, you know what spirit. I am Brahman is very easy to understand. I am Brahman is very easy to understand. What is difficult is this world is mithya. Very difficult. World is mithya, then my body is mithya. This identification is difficult. Brahman is Sat. Brahman is here. That is very easy. Very easy. I'll tell you. For that spirituality is that part of spirituality not to worry about. Brahma Satyam is very easy. Jagat Mithya is no, that is difficult to accept.
Yeah, when we are attached to the world, it is like always, even though whenever we listen to people like you, we may feel like that, but when you, after one day, again, you start doing the same activity, then you'll go back to that. So, in that condition.
Correct. That is the nature. That's the nature of the mind, is to pull you back into that. You see, nature of the mind is to, it's just like water flows where it gravitates into that. Similarly, our sense organs, this what is the Kathopanishad says, the Paranchikani, what is that? That Swayambhu, that Brahma has created all the sense organs extroverted. All the sense organs are reporting duality. My 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, everything is duality is reported. But what inside is saying, oh, you are only one, Advaita. But what is we are getting perception, all duality. This conflict continues. So we cannot stop duality being perceived. At the same time, we have to understand there is one truth only, not duality. This is where the sadhana is. We cannot stop the world. Being grihasthashrama, sannyasashrama, everybody, sannyasi is an ashrama, so there are also family problems will be there. Sannyasa family problems will be there, I'll tell you. If you are in any ashrama, you will know better. All politics will be there also.
Yeah.
It is not bound, it is not free from it. So it will be there. So, but it is individual, it matters. Individually, I can be detached.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you.
Very excellent. Very nice.
Beautiful talk.
Beautifully explained.
I'm reminded of one example given by Swami Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. A lady says that today in my house, the kid broke some valuable things, or I would say modern parlor, a TV, and still I'm not perturbed. Because when she say in our house, she is a servant who is serving that house, and the kid is a Yajamanan's kid. So that's that's kind of attitude you have, that this is the body, we have something is happening in the body, I am a servant. Okay, the other way around, I am the Yajamanan. Here is saying that, okay, you look at a dispassionate attitude, still you call it your house, but you're not attached to it. That's the way.
Correct. But it's very difficult, as in the say, we have given so much of attachment, forget about body. My car, I give so much of attachment in Singapore. Because car, anything happen is, I got hurt. This is the problem here.
Especially the new car. New car.
Luxurious car.
Rajeshji wanted to say, ask a question. Rajeshji.
And with due apologies to Mrs. Ushananda, I would say that if the wife does something, much more problem for us.
Yeah, Hari Om Anandji.
I can say it is vice versa also.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Rajeshji.
Yes. Hari Om Anandji, such a scholarly discourse by Sri Anand. It is so delightful, and he went through all the key verses from Bhagavad Gita about the comments that Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya. There was a remark that Jagan Mithya is very difficult to fathom, and absolutely no doubt about it. But what I heard and how I resolved, it really was very convincing to me. What I heard, we have these two worlds, the worlds that we see, the trees, the animals, the factories, the houses. And this is all created by the Lord, because in the beginning, at the start of the creation, there is nothing. Then God agitates Prakriti, Maya, Ahankar, Panch Mahabhut, Pancha, Tanmatra, etc., and the world is created. So that world is very real. There is absolutely no doubt about it. How you see a banyan tree, how I see a banyan tree is the same. But we create an inner world. Because of our agyan, we create an inner world which is based on our perception. This person is inimical to me, this person is jealous to me, this person is envious to me. You know, how my boss is thinking about me, how my spouse is thinking about me. We have created such a complex inner world inside, which is actually mythical, which is actually our imagination. It is not really the situation. And this is how I resolved. I just thought I'll contribute this.
Yes, yes, that is perfectly true. The Lord, whether you take it any Upanishads, Aitreya Upanishad or anything, Lord created. He created everything. And he only pravesha, he only entered this.
Ishavadyam idam sarvam.
Isham, Vasam, Saramism, and all these things is a pravesha. He entered pravesha, he entered this one. But up to that, there is no problem at all. Up to that, there is no problem at all. I created the house, I did the Gruha Pravesham, fine, no problem. But the problem comes after entering, this is my room. Nobody can enter it.
That's the part of the inner world. That's the part of the inner world. That is the Mithya Jagat. That's the part of the inner world.
Because there is no my minus. Where is the minus coming? Where is my?
When we surrender to the Lord, that you know, the self-assessment is gone, and then we remove that conflict.
Yes, correct.
So wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hari Om. Hari Om.
For letting me talk.
Thank you. Sure.
Yeah. So I think it's already, we are very late for our lunch. Such a brilliant, wonderful feast is provided by Dr. Ananda ji. So I hope that's enough to at least wait. I mean, it'll help us, enjoy our actual food. So thank you so much, Ananda ji, for the wonderful talk, and also all the wonderful chanters, and also Dr. Rajan Krishnan ji, who was our guest of honor for today. So thank you to everybody who helped participate in this. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you.
See you in the next session.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om.